Hi everyone. Today is going to be a little bit more of a serious topic, but not so serious that we can't laugh at ourselves. So before I start, like, subscribe, and hit the bell, hit the bell, hit the bell, because I love you and you love me, hopefully. If you want to join the tribe, don't forget to subscribe. Rhymed. So today is about my mother-in-law from hell. And I know people are like, oh no, you have no idea. I have the mother-in-law from hell. Oh no, I actually had a mother-in-law that came straight out of hell. Because there is no other way I can define this woman. There is no other. I would like to name her. That's how awful she is. But I won't. I mean, you know who you are. If you are watching these and you're the person that gives me always the you know who you are, you evil person. Evil. So I've got that out. We're good now. Don't forget to like, subscribe before I go into this, because you might not want to when I'm done. You might think it's mean of me to talk about a lady like that, because now she's elderly. But at the time, she was in her 30s, or early 40s, younger than me. No. So I met a dude. And this is the first thing you should look for, young people. Because I made a video and I touched on my mother-in-law from hell slightly. But this video is going in depth. We're going deep into hell to talk about this woman. I met him and he seemed nice. He was kind of cute. Seemed like the family had the values that I was looking for, because I didn't come from stuff like that. So I guess I was seeking that out desperately. You know, old-fashioned kind of family. And I met his mom. Everything seemed fine. Then when we got engaged, things started changing a little bit. Like her telling me what I could and could not wear at the wedding. Her saying that my family should pay half for the wedding, but we were only allowed 50 guests out of 400. I have so many people to invite, and the hall only holds this many, so you can only invite this many. But you got to pay half. It's like, are you fucking joking? Excuse my language, but are you? I'm like, no. We'll pay for ours, you pay for yours. That seems fair. Because she's inviting her sister's cousin's brother's girlfriend's cousin. You know what I mean? She was inviting everybody and their dog. And leaving me very few. Oh, and he was not allowed to invite any of his friends. That was only people she chose. She chose 350 or 300, whatever the number was. It was huge. And I was allowed 50. That included my future husband's friends. She invited a few of the friends that were family type friends. But beyond that, no. None of his work friends, none of his hockey playing friends, none. So, you know, I should have kind of got an indication that something was up. Then it came time now, when you go to a traditional family wedding, they call it a donation box, and I absolutely hate that. It's a box that you make or you buy or you rent, and people put envelopes in it. Instead of giving you a gift, they give you money or gift cards. Back then it was just money, because checks, there was no such thing as gift cards. So, you know, and they go along and you stand there and you say, thank you for coming. And those that have the envelope with the cards, they stick those in the box. And she told me just before the wedding, like I think the day before, that she would be taking the box, her and her husband, they would open it, because this is a traditional wedding. We had a gift opening the next day at a hall, big fancy food, all of that. And she would take it, open it up, give us the cards that were inside, and tell us how much money there was. Then she would put it away until she thought we were ready to have it. I'm like, no. Number one, you do not control my life. Number two, Those are gifts to me, not to you, not for you to decide. If I want to blow it on crack, I shouldn't have said that. But, if I wanted to, that is my money to do that with. I don't do crack. I've never done it. Personally, it kind of freaks the out of me. Okay? I'm just putting that out there. If I want to buy a whole bunch of alcohol, if I want to buy whatever the heck I want to buy, I will buy it with that money because unfortunately that's my choice. That is my gift. She did not understand that. And I mean, she did not understand that. And all of you out there, and I know some of my friends and family watch, you guys remember this night. This was a great night. Then my wedding comes. And I had worked it out that the best man and my maid of honor would take the box right away and go put it in their trunk. Because I knew she would take it otherwise. And then I would not get it. Like, I would have to charge her with theft to get that back. And I was willing to do that, to be honest, I was. Because we're not talking $100 here. We're talking $5,000, $8,000. And, that wasn't her money to make the decisions for us. We are not children. We're married. Therefore, we are adults. Well, she comes storming. I was in the outer area saying goodbye to my then husband. Now, this is my first husband, not my second husband. I should clear that up for any of you, like my husband's brothers and sisters who are thinking I'm talking about your mom. Your mom is sweet. No, I'm not talking about your mom. I'm not talking about my current mother-in-law. This is my first mother-in-law. We're good on that now. Don't come at me. Don't be mad at me. I do not hate your mother. I like your mother. It's all good. So anyway, we're in the rotunda and saying goodbye to his grandma. Very elderly, can't stay very late. This is really early. This is like after dinner. The dance has just started kind of timing. Somebody's going to walk in my door right now because they went to get pizza. So BRB. My doggy that needs a haircut desperately was bugging me, and I'm still not ready to come back because the kids are grabbing their pizza. No, I know you don't like to be on film, Chanel. Say hi to the people. Hi, people. I want to go run around and chase squirrels. Yeah, you want to? You want down? Say bye. Bye. Be right back. Okay, so we're back. They are eating pizza and everything is good, and I'll have mine after. So, mother-in-law from hell in the rotunda saying goodbye to great-grandma. Right. Great-grandma to my kids. Because they had to leave early. So this is like, there's the room here. Now, this is one building. We had the whole entire building for ourselves. So we're not sharing. It's not like a multi-event venue. It's just one building. And we're standing in the rotunda of this building, saying goodbye to some people that are leaving early. And then we were going to go back and dance. And she runs at me like I'm talking. I thought she was going to tackle me like a running back or some stupid crap like that. I was scared. She goes, "Where's the money?" And I'm like, calm down. My maid of honor and the best man, they put those in the trunk to keep them safe. She goes, "Give me the money." And I go, "No, it's our gift, our money." She goes, "You've ruined our lives, right? That our son married you is ruining our lives." Now, he didn't say anything. He just stood there. Just remember that. I should have known. And I go, "No, I'm not. It's a gift to us. We will determine what we will do with that money, whether it be a down payment on a house, whether it be a down payment on a car, whatever the case may be. It is our gift. We will decide what to do with it, right? I mean, you guys, I'm sure, are all agreeing with me. Mothers and father-in-laws don't take your wedding gifts. That is like, the mindset of that is so bizarre to me. And everyone I've ever told this story to feels the same way. This is crazy. So she starts yelling. Now, remember, people are going and coming. If you smoked cigarettes, we wanted you to do that outside, that kind of thing. So people are coming in and out of this one exit and entrance because the other exits were only emergency, right? So some people start, collecting around. So now we're getting a crowd. We're circled. And my aunts are standing there. My aunts are like, "Leave her alone. This is her wedding. Why don't you deal with this a different day? Or not at all, because it's ridiculous." So, then a friend steps up and this other friend, and I'm starting to cry at this point, by the way. I'm crying. And he's standing there saying nothing. And his mother says that you are nothing but a piece of shit scumbag. Your family are nothing but scum. And the fact that you're related to me is the biggest embarrassment of my entire life. I'm like, damn. And she's going on and on, like she's screaming hysterically. Now, I don't know why the music stopped, but it did. Maybe everybody was listening. I don't know, because I was just focused on the fact that all these people were seeing, and I was so embarrassed. She was talking about my mom being a divorced mother, and she was talking about things that didn't happen. Like, I bet you slept with all my sons, and you did this, and you did that. And I hadn't done any of that. So, nevertheless, my one friend steps up. Some of my friends are now crying. Like, this is a very bad scene. And I think I finally got pissed at him. I'm like, aren't you going to say anything? Aren't you going to stand up for me? Nothing. And he goes, well, this is my mom, and you're, I'm like, whatever. So she kept going on and on about me being a bitch, or this, or that, or that. See, I can't say everything because it's so extreme what she called me. You want to add F words in there, the C words. You can add them all and then some. She was hysterical. You nothing but a piece of shit. So I get upset. I run into the bathroom. He doesn't come after me, but my aunts do. My friends do. Finally, they convince me to come out. I'm hysterical. Like, I'm sitting on the floor crying because of the terrifyingly bad things she said to me. Like, I can't begin to tell you how bad they were. She was telling her, she would actually look at everybody around and go, you guys know that she fucks everyone, right? Oh, sorry, I said the F word. Whatever. Yeah. I bet you she slept with him and him and him. You know why this guy is standing up for her, right? Because she slept with him. And it was awful. And I left. I actually had 2 dances. Where you dance with the husband, and then where you dance with your father-in-law, and I left. I left. I left my own wedding. I did. 400, 350, whatever amount of people were there. I left. Went to the hotel. The next day was the gift opening. I wasn't going to go, but I went anyway. I sat in the room and I looked at every card. I, went through everything, and then I announced the next day how much money there was and said my thank yous. She was rude the next day, but not as bad as the night before. And then I thought in my mind, I'm going to chalk that up to alcohol. Because other than me, everyone was drinking. I don't drink. I never did, really. I have drunk, and I know people that know me are like, you drink. I've seen you falling on the floor. Yes, but I don't drink that often. And I did not drink at our wedding. I actually drove. I drove the car to the hotel. So, just so you know. So as time goes on, for a little tiny bit, she was nice-ish. Because she's not a nice person. Like, she's not the kind that sits there and says kind words or hugs you, or no, none of that. If you're in her house, she would just kind of ignore the fact that you were there, which is good for me. I was okay with that. I should have never went back, because then I had a baby, and it was a girl. She had 4 sons, and she started controlling my life with my baby. You need to do this. Breastfeeding's disgusting. This is disgusting. Why are you doing this? And I was getting it over and over and over and over. And the final straw, and I mentioned this in another video, was one day I was sitting there in a group of ladies, and I had my second baby. Which I never had him, by the way. Oh, no, I love him. I should have had him, but to save my marriage, that was not the right thing to do. So don't do that. If you think you need to save a marriage and have a baby, biggest mistake ever. Don't do that. It's not going to work. Trust me, it isn't. And I was breastfeeding at the time, but I had frozen some because he'd been in the hospital. He was sick. He was out, but I had been pumping the whole time, so I had lots, and all the boys are cringing right now. So I was heating it up in the microwave. Back then, we didn't know how bad microwaves were. You're supposed to heat it on the stove, but whatever. My kids are fine. And she looks at me and she goes, I can't believe you're heating the bottle. And I go, what do you mean? And she goes, you never heated Felicia's bottles. You practically killed her. I'm like, no, I always heated her bottles. She actually liked her bottles heated until she was 1 year old. Like, she liked them heated for a long time. And, I'm not even sure. Maybe she still likes warm milk. I don't know, because she really liked it as a little one. And I'm like, yeah, I did. She goes, this poor baby, that's why he's in the hospital all the time, because you're like practically killing him. Now there's all these ladies, aunts, cousins. It's her wedding anniversary. And they have big parties. So there's lots of people, like 40 maybe. And they're all just sitting there listening to her say this to me. You're the worst mother. I should get your kids taken away. And I go, I don't quite understand what you're talking about, because this is his first bottle. I'm breastfeeding him. The only other time he had bottles was when he was in the hospital. And that was because something was wrong with his throat. He couldn't eat. So they were taking, wasn't really bottles. They fed him. I didn't feed him. Anyway, you know what I'm saying. I'm like, I don't understand. I've been breastfeeding him. This is like his first real bottle. No, that's not true. And I'm like, it's true. And she goes, no, it isn't. Don't forget, I've got proof. I know what you're like. I know. Just you wait. And I'm like, you are really this much of a bitch, really, seriously, that you're going to sit here and say this in front of the people? Because I was mad. I was upset and mad. You can call me out on a lot of things and I can just cry and go in the corner, but don't say I'm a bad mom when I'm not the best mom, but I knew I was doing okay. My kids were healthy, happy. At that point, my son had been sick, but not because of anything I did. I'm like, you know what? This is none of your business, what I do with my kids. So how about you mind your own business? They're my grandchildren. I have more control than you do. As much, if not more. My son, Now he's standing there saying nothing. FYI, remember that. And I go, I cannot deal with your mother anymore. I'm leaving. It's wintertime, -40. It's cold, -40, well below zero in the United States. If you can think about that, -40 is -40 there. -40, -30, it's cold. So I'm like, I'm leaving. I'm going to go wait outside in the car, get the kids ready, bring them out. He never shows up. I go in, I'm like, are we not leaving? He goes, no, you're being ridiculous. I go, your mom was just saying, and I can't even remember all the things she said. My memory is kind of not great. So I remember bits and pieces. She was just saying over and over how scummy I was, this and that. Kind of the wedding situation. Not quite as bad, but different things and some of the things from the wedding. And I go, your mom is saying terrible things about me. Don't you think you should defend me? Well, I think you're being ridiculous. So I walked out the door and I walked home. I got halfway and actually somebody that I know seen me and drove me home. That's kind of funny, that story in and of itself. But anyway, he drove me home. Oh, I'm sure she had found out it was a dude. She would have thought I was sleeping with him too. Whatever. And then I decided that my marriage was over. And I let her see my kids while we were divorced because I think children should have relationships with their grandparents. I think grandparents are important. So I let the kids go and see her. And I told her, don't say anything bad about me because if you do, I will stop you from seeing them. And then I find out she was saying terrible things about me. It's like, you know what? You are a crazy lady. And finally, I knew I wasn't wrong when her own sister, came up to me in Home Depot and said, I need to apologize to you for all the times we didn't stand up for you when she said terrible things. She's my sister, and we know that she's kind of outspoken, says whatever she's thinking, even if it's wrong. My sister's crazy. My sister's a bitch, and I'm so sorry because she did it to me. Went publicly in front of the whole family and said terrible things about her sister. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness somebody sees the light because I thought maybe it was all in my head. Do you guys think it was all in my head? Or did I really have a mother-in-law from hell? Because every time I seen her and my husband, I would go because I'm wanting that special family. So 2-3 times a month, I got told all these bad things, that I was ruining the family every single time I went there. She said something negative, derogatory. And I put up with that for 5 years. I don't even know how I did it. To be honest, no idea. But if you have a mother-in-law from hell, or if you meet his mother and he does not stand up for you, if he's like, it's my mom, I shouldn't really say anything, you know, we just won't go there for a bit, and then you guys go back and she does it again and he doesn't say anything, run. Run fast the other way. Run. Run. Don't look back. They're going to destroy you. They're going to bring you down, make you think that maybe they're telling the truth. Maybe they're right. Maybe you are these things. You're not. They're assholes. Run. Run, 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 run. That is why I made this video. For all of you out there who have mother or father-in-laws from hell, or not mother-in-law yet or father-in-law yet, because father-in-laws can be assholes too. If you're a man or a woman, you can have a mother-in-law or father-in-law from hell. Run. Don't marry them. No, don't. Because that person should stand up for you. I'm not saying don't marry them if you have a mother-in-law from hell. If the person that you're going to marry stands up for you against his family and tells you, I'm willing to walk away, because that's the only solution at that, you know, at a certain point. They have to be willing to walk away from their family. And I know that's a horrible thing to say, but you're supposed to be their number one priority, you and the children. Once you get married, your mom, your dad, your brothers and sisters become secondary. And that's the way it's meant to be. My husband now stood up for me when somebody said something, because that's the way it's supposed to be. Just remember, run fast. So that's my story. Hopefully it helps somebody. I hope it does. That's why I tell these. So don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell, check out our Instagram, our Discord server. My son loves that. So until next time, bye.